A very warm welcome to Must Know Topics. In this particular series, I'll be taking down various Lecturette and GD topics which will be helpful in preparing for various government competitive examinations, including SSP interviews. The topic that I'll be taking today will be global warming, and this will be the 16th Lecturette of the series. I'll be covering this particular topic in 6 subdivisions. The first one would be introduction part, followed by greenhouse effect, then enhanced greenhouse effect, causes, effects of global warming, and finally some statistics. Coming to the introduction part, in the last few years there has been an unprecedented warming over the earth's surface, and that is what we call as global warming. And basically this is because of the industrial revolution that has been happening in the last few years. Now basically talking about greenhouse effect. Now the natural process that warms Earth's surface is the greenhouse effect, and if a greenhouse effect is not there, Earth would become a cold frozen surface. Now basically when the sun's energy reaches the Earth atmosphere, some of it is reflected back to space and rest is absorbed by greenhouse gases. Now talking about various greenhouse gases, now these include water vapor, CO2, methane, NO2, and some artificial chemicals such as CFC, that is chlorofluorocarbon. What is enhanced greenhouse effect? Now basically burning fossil fuels, stubble burning, deforestation has increased the amount of greenhouse effect, which has led to this enhanced greenhouse effect, which is responsible for overwarming of the Earth's surface. Now for Earth's temperature to remain stable, the amount of incoming solar radiation should be equal to the amount of infrared leaving the atmosphere. Now solar radiation, if we talk about solar radiation, the solar radiation can be divided into three, that is, it comes in the form of visible light, then in form of infrared, and in form of UV, whereas UV comes in three forms, that is UVA, UVB, and UVC, that is ultraviolet A, ultraviolet B, ultraviolet C, based on their wavelength. UVC has the shortest wavelength and thus it is more dangerous, whereas talking about UVB, it has the middle wavelength of UVA and UVC, and it is the reason for the skin cancer to happen. Whereas UVA, that is ultraviolet A, now basically most of it, around 95 to 96%, is absorbed by the Earth's surface, that is ozone layer. Now what are the causes of global warming? Talking about the causes of global warming, now there have been many causes, like for example industrial revolution, as I mentioned earlier, then stubble burning, which was seen last year specifically in India, and states like Delhi, Punjab, UP, all these places were highly affected, and even national health emergency was declared by the Supreme Court. Now moreover, deforestation is also one of the major reasons, because cutting down of trees will result in more of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Then farming. Now basically animals, particularly livestock like sheep and cattle, produces methane, and this is one of the major these are some of the major causes for global warming to happen. Coming to the effects of global warming, the major effect of global warming is the extreme weather. Extreme weather in this sense we would have seen in India, that specifically in summer seasons in the northern part the temperature goes to 47 degrees, 49 degrees, and sometimes even 50 degrees in Rajasthan. And extreme weather conditions cannot be faced by a person easily. Moreover, there are the ice belts, these are melting, and the sea levels are decreasing, and the ocean is acidifying, that means ocean is becoming acidified, so that is called ocean acidification. Moreover, there have been so many social effects, like it has resulted in droughts specifically in Maharashtra, then floods, and even crop failures in some situation. Now the rain is also not happening, then it results in crop failure as well. Now coming to some statistics, as per a NASA graph, it stated that before industrial revolution, IR over here is industrial revolution, the carbon dioxide content was 280 ppm, that is parts per million, and in the year 2013 it became 400 ppm. In 2017 it became 410 ppm, and now it is expected that by the year 2035 it will be around 450 ppm, which is very much dangerous to the environment. Now recently the 5th assessment report on Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change was also conducted, and it concluded that more than 95% probability is that human activities will warm the entire earth. That is why it is very much important to take control over the same. Now in the year 2015 the United Nations passed 71 representations, and which suggested around 17 goals that has to be implemented by all the countries, and in that one of the major goal was the climate change. So the government, and moreover there are government and various countries are taking up steps to take control over the climate change by adapting various measures like plantations, then stopping deforestations, and banning of CFCs, that is chlorofluorocarbons. These are greenhouse gases. And moreover recently there was a news that there was a ozone hole which has got covered, and that is basically because of the polar vortex process, and that is a natural process that has happened. So these were some facts about global warming. I hope this topic would have been useful in preparations. In case you like this video, do hit the like button and subscribe the channel. Thank you.